What is up, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. Coming at you with yet again another perfume experience. And today's one, as the title goes and shows below, it's gonna be a bit of a long one, okay? Just mostly because of the musing. So before we get started, go grab your favorite snack or your favorite bevy or cafe. I'm abstaining today from coffee because I am back again at my insomniac kind of downhill cycle, and yeah, I need to sleep. I need to sleep. It's a struggle, man. I mean, anyways, let's get started. So um, for today's sample, we have Ensar Oud's Oriscent Kelantan. Okay, so this is the sampler I have. So I got this one with my order of white Kinam. So I will get started with the musing on this, you guys, and then I'm gonna go through an experience with this and share my thoughts with you. Now, I have yet to smell this, so this will be the first whiff I'm gonna have with you guys. And yeah, so it'll be interesting to see how it goes. But like I said, sit back, relax as I read to you the musing off of Ansar's website with my gorgeous, gorgeous voice. Okay, all right. So let's get started. So Kelantan was distilled by my Kiara Sifu, and the scent embodies everything the Japanese Kodo tradition is about. If you're reading this looking for a quick swipe to wear going out, this is not for you. This is the sit down, slow down olfactory experience. Finding quality Malaysian agarwood is one thing, especially at a time when you see prices quadruple in the span of 2 years. To then fly those harvests to your Sifu in Taiwan is a different mission altogether. I've never mentioned this before, but with Oriscent Ouds, the cost of the logistics is actually not included in the final price. Even though it's significantly more expensive to distill these oils, I would have produced them anyway because this is the only way to capture the smell. Had this oud been distilled in Malaysia, it would cost you the same, only would lose a lot less. Okay. This is just bragging rights here justifying the pricing, but okay, whatever. Kelantan is also the only Oriscent of its kind that was and likely ever will be distilled. The signature kinamic pitch is present in spades, distinctly mimicking low-temp kinam, yet the Malaysian profile adds a sweet purple floral glaze that no agarwood need could ever emit. That's the beauty of Sifu's distillations. Is this Sifu or Shifu? Anyways, that you get to wallow in the highest grade agarwood as if you're sitting kneeled in a classic Kodu session, and then something happens. The master reads a spell that unlocks a chord that's been dormant in the agar nobody had ever smelled. This smell. Kelantan's resin-forward profile drenched in the purple garb. I don't want to mention specific flowers or notes because it's a tinge that's truly unique to my Kiara Shifu's distillations. This profile is what lasts for the first few hours of your wear. I applied a swipe about 3 hours ago, and the scent has been consistently strong, and its resinous core hasn't gone down a single dial, while the purple sweetness has actually gone up a notch. In lower grade distillations, the sweet notes are typically the first to disappear. If you own a bottle of Oud Ahmad or have heard about it, Kelantan is its Oriscent twin. Oud Ahmad's deep resinous depth showcase what traditional distillation pulls out from sinking grade West Malaysian agarwood, while Kelantan lets you smell over and over a brand new profile coaxed through super low temp distillation plus a bunch of my Shifu's secret tweaks along the way. It may have taken you years to reach this point. God, does he write forever? Okay. Or you dived in the deep end and sampled your nose numb on oud from everywhere and every grade. Whatever it took you to get here, the journey was well worth it. Just like smelling kinam, you get it instantly. The sappiest Malaysian agarwood resin squeezed by a Kiara master. squeezed by a Kara master does that. Oh, thank God. Okay, it's over. All right. So what we're looking at here are purple florals, resin sweetness is really what I got out of this. And by the way, for those of you that are curious, there's a discount now on the Oriscent website. Just looking at it now. So the 3 grams EO vial is discounted from 2,500 to 19.99. The 0.25 gram is discounted from 249 to 219 for those that are looking to jump on this. Okay, so let's get started with the experience. And these vials tend to be a bit okay. Oh wow. Okay. Wow. Oh man, I needed this. He is not wrong about putting this on, slowing down and staying in. Man, I'm already salivating smelling this. Wow. Listen, man, there are times where this is soul food right here, okay? This is so meditative, healing, relaxing, stress reducing, relieving. Trust me, I've been stressed as of late, so God, this is okay. So let's get started then. So I'm gonna say that in terms of the antiseptic note, which is very prevalent in these Oriscent oils, it is here, but compared to white quinam, which I've made a video about, it's very subtle. It's not a strong antiseptic note in here. However, what's really strong in this is that sort of resinous, gooey, molasses-like note. And I can definitely pick on purple sweetness. It is very subtle though, you guys. It's not that powerful, and maybe if it's applied to the skin, I don't have enough here to apply to the skin, it would be a different conversation, but it's very consistent across. You're definitely getting this resinous, purplish floral, yet slightly sweet note. Not overly sweet in the sense of a gourmandish, not by any stretch of the imagination, but just enough to emphasize those purple floral notes. You definitely get a bit of a, I don't know how to explain it. It's not completely antiseptic quinamic note, but it's a bit of bordering on incensey also. So you're getting a bit of this mentholy quinamic sort of head rush touch mixed in with an incense note is the best way I can describe it. I've never smelt this before, so this is a new thing for me. So my brain is trying to process which one to lean more towards. Is it a quinamic antiseptic note with a mentholy profile, or is it incense? It's somewhere in the middle. There's a very subtle smokiness to this. It's not overly smoky, nor is it overpowering, but there is subtle smoky touches to this. Just trying to see if I can pick on something else for you guys. Yeah, so that mentholy, incensey note, kinomic, antiseptic. Wow, this is so interesting. It has also this warmth to it. Um, I'm not sure if that's a facet of the smoky touch or note in here, but there's also this note in here. I'm not sure how to explain it. The first thing that comes to my mind is plum, um, like a purple plum or prunes, but that wouldn't be an exact, accurate descriptive. Yeah, it's almost like a dried fruit note, but wow, this is fascinating. I'm trying to inhale really hard with this little sampler just because that sort of complex note I'm trying to identify, I don't pick it early on in my nostril. It's kind of when it passes past the middle bridge of my nose is when I start recognizing it. Wow, but it's so fleeting. God, it smells so familiar, but it's also so confusing because I don't know what it is. Okay, I'm gonna stop before I get myself lightheaded here. Um, so overall, what I'm gonna say is this is really gorgeous. It's similar, but also distinct from white quinam. I would say there's certainly similar elements, but for the most part, I'm gonna say it's different. Would it justify buying it? I'm gonna say yes. Generally speaking, if you're already spent some money on this kind of oils, it's, either you don't care about the money and you're gonna go and spend it anyway to get to experience an oil like this, even though it gets you into debt, or you're somebody who's loaded and yeah, money isn't an issue. You're all about those unique, uh, exotic, ethereal experiences. You're an Epicurean at heart. You're very sensual. You are a sensitive kind of a person that really does pick on subtleties and, you know, something like money that's just made up, really, um, doesn't, you're not too bugged about spending the money on something like this because it really is, and I know I'll come across as exaggerating. It is a very soulful, spiritual experience. And I, as much as I don't really like the marketing around Ensar Oud, I find it's a bit exaggerated. The guy puts out quality stuff, okay? Love him or hate him, the product is solid. Marketing and character aside, I know some people don't like his demeanors and don't like the marketing around what he puts out, but it's, you know what, regardless of your opinions about him and about the brand and the certain approaches they take to putting their product out, they put out a solid product. I'm never gonna argue against that unless he puts something bad out, in which case I'll say it's not really my taste, or I won't actually put a video about it, because I'm of the opinion that if you don't have something good to say about somebody, keep it to yourself, okay? You don't need to drag people down, because you never know. People change with time, sometimes for the worse, sometimes for the better. And yeah, I digress. I don't know why I went down this philosophical route, but back to this. Oh, crap. Okay. And yeah, I'm glad this was closed. And yeah, so basically, you guys, it is different from white quinam, but it also has similar facets. At the end of the day, the Oriscent oils are going to share certain qualities with each other. And yeah, in terms of how would you wear this, I'm going to say that this is, as the musing said on the website, as something to, put on relax, unwind, take it easy, slow down. And it certainly is that kind of a scent. It does that for you. And yeah, I 100% agree with that. You want to think about, it's your day off, you're taking it easy, you're staying at home in relaxed, nice clothing, you're listening to some jazz music, cooking yourself a hearty, nice meal, reading a self care book, just really taking care of yourself, recharging, rejuvenating, and just, being good to yourself because, life is rough out there. So, yeah, so this is one of the things you can do for yourself. Another way I personally would wear this if I'm going to a sauna or a steam room, if I'm going to get a massage, I can actually see myself putting this to the gym just because, again, for me, the gym is a spiritual experience because it helps me clear my head, okay? So I would actually see myself putting this to the gym. If you do yoga, this is your thing. If one of the ways you like to meditate or relax is fishing or hunting, I'd also recommend putting this on. Definitely has a spiritual capacity to it that you most certainly will enjoy and appreciate in scenarios like these. Where else can you put this? If you're going, praying, be it a synagogue, a church, a mosque, a temple, or any other sort of institution where you feel like you're closer to God, for example, this was something that would be perfect. And I guess, again, whatever you do to feel spiritual, to feel, I guess, relaxed, take it easy, be in a meditative state. Hey, golfing. I know a lot of my buddies are into golfing and they do it because it helps them relax and unwind and detach from, work and whatnot. You can actually put this going to golfing because it'll help you relax. I don't know how it would work with alcohol consumption because a lot of my buddies drink alcohol, mainly beers, while they're golfing 18 holes, but hey, I'm sure it's gonna offer some sort of an experience, okay? I wouldn't really equate beer with spirituality, but to each their own, no judgment here, okay? So, with that said, yeah, this is how you would dress this. Again, in terms of, I guess, sex profile, is it unisex, male, female? I'm gonna go ahead and say this is a bit, okay, it is unisex, but it's definitely more male leaning. Ladies can put it on, again, I don't see issues with it, but you've got those antiseptic, smoky, mentholy notes in here, the heavy, thick molasses-like resin qualities to this. These are more, I would say, masculine qualities. The kind of lady that would put this definitely wouldn't be your super feminine, girly kind of a lady. You're gonna be more like the sort of boss babe, very confident alpha female, if you wish. I don't like using the term alpha because I don't know, it just doesn't sound right. But yeah, you're a confident woman and you got your shit together. It's the best way I can put it to rock this. But you can definitely pull it off, but just keep in mind it's more masculine leaning. Now, in terms of seasonality, I guess that's an interesting one because I'm gonna say just, again, I'm smelling this in front of the camera with you guys for the first time. The one thing that comes to my mind, this is probably better for fall, winter, maybe even spring, just because the weather's still a bit cold. It has this warm sort of smoky, incensey qualities to it, which I think lend themselves better to cold weather than warm weather. In terms of time of day, I think you can wear this any time of the day, but again, the typical person unwinds after work, early evening to, late evening. So I'm gonna go ahead and say this is more evening suitable, unless you do some of your meditative exercises during the day, then yes, you will enjoy this through the day, regardless of time of day. In terms of attire, how are you gonna dress? Whatever you feel comfortable and relaxed in, okay? If that means you are dressed in pajamas or dressed in sweats or even a suit, if that's your thing, you can actually dress this with a suit. I see that going very well with a formal dress just because of suit or dress just because of the sort of smoky, resinous, incensey qualities of it. You can dress it up for sure, but why would you when you're trying to relax and meditate? It's much better to dress it down and just wear something airy, loose, comfortable, where you move easily and, you're just celebrating surviving the day or your accomplishments or you're just thriving. Okay, so regardless of where you are on the spectrum of life between surviving and thriving, you can rock this and definitely enjoy it. Another way, actually, I just thought about this in terms of meditating is activities. You can definitely wear this going hiking. If you're into horse riding, I grew up riding Arabian horses and thoroughbreds, and there's nothing I loved more than being on the equestrian facility or farm, just under the trees about 4:35 in the morning, getting my horses ready, and just smelling, the fresh, crisp morning air mixed in with the trees and slightly animalic scent of the horses because of the barns. But I can certainly see myself back in the day as a kid rocking this. I don't know if I would have appreciated it as a kid, but I mean, if it was available, it's definitely something I would have rocked during that activity. Just because horse riding for me was an escape as a kid. I really, really enjoyed it. And so, yeah, I guess to wrap this up, is Kelantan Oriscent by Ensar Oud recommended? 100% yes. Get your nose on it, get your wallet on it, and cop it, okay? Again, I've already mentioned the two kinds of people that typically would go for something like this. I don't think there's in between when it comes to this. You either don't care about your financial situation and you live for the moment and you want to splurge, by all means go for it. I generally speaking find like this kind of people tend to be very creative and resourceful long run wise if you don't judge them on short term horizons. If on the other hand you're loaded, it won't be an issue, right? And you're into your oils, you're gonna thoroughly enjoy this. So yes, I would recommend this. It is very, very enjoyable, and it's one of, again, the oils I'm gonna look into adding to my collection, because right now it seems that rather than investing in stocks, it makes more sense to invest in some of these oils because they're on the secondary market. Depending on where you're selling them, they actually appreciate in value. I was surprised about that. Some of them decline, which makes sense because it's such a niche product. But if you're dealing with people that are into it really and have deep pockets, yeah, you'd be surprised. But yeah, by all means, get on it if Kinamic oils, Oriscent oils are your jam. You're most thoroughly going to enjoy it. And yeah, if you have any of these Oriscent oils, let me know down in the comments what your experience with them are. And if you have any of the other samplers or you bought the actual 3 gram or 0.25 grams of any of the oils in the collection other than white Kinam and this one, please let me know which ones you do recommend because I will dabble in more of these. And yeah, I'm super stoked and very, very grateful to have the opportunity to be able to experience something like this. And yeah, I mean, I guess that will be it for this upload. But before I wind up this upload, just wanted to congratulate those of you observing Ramadan. So happy Ramadan to you and your families. I know that the observation can be very challenging and very difficult, and just the fasting is no joke by no means. It takes a lot of willpower, a lot of discipline to stay with it. So for those of you participating in the observations, wishing you all the best and happy Ramadan to you and your families. And for those of you that are not, by all means, I still wish you all the best. And with that said, I'm going to wrap it up here, you guys. As per usual, very much appreciate your time and attention. And I will see you in the next one. Cheers.